for the initiation of hooks opening about a minute and a half from now. We're beginning to receive, as you can see, television from a camera on the Edoardo Amaldi automated transfer vehicle of the docking target at the aft port of the Zvezda service module, to which Edoardo Amaldi will separate just about 4 minutes from now.
Yuri, Moscow. Moscow. Station, you called?
And the mechanical systems officer here in Mission Control confirms that the hooks are now driving open on the ATV side of the docking interface, so everything proceeding on schedule.
Copy.
We expect physical separation less than 3.5 minutes from now.
So please control PC and also laptop. The hooks of ATV, what color is this indication?
8_3 prepared.
The International Space Station now flying over western Kazakhstan, just north of the launch site for Soyuz and Progress vehicles at the Baikonur Cosmodrome.
Is nominal. Say again. Oh, all the indicators are nominal. Now copy. Copy. Yes, correct. Please prepare the procedure. I have already reported that the procedure is ready.
Physical separation.
And physical separation confirmed a bit earlier than planned. No issue there. Undocking occurring at 4:44 p.m. Central Time as the International Space Station and the automated transfer vehicle flew 255 miles over western Kazakhstan.
Procedure F8_3 execute.
Go to wide angle, please. Done. Copy.
Edoardo Amaldi bidding arrivederci to the International Space Station after a stay of 184 days, 3 days behind schedule. But today everything has worked to perfection as the automated transfer vehicle separates from the aft port of the Zvezda service module. This view from a camera on the aft port of the Zvezda service module looking back at Edoardo Amaldi. You can tell from the insect-like shape of the solar arrays on the cargo craft. Again, undocking occurring at 4:44 p.m. Central Time over western Kazakhstan.
Moscow Station. MSU is in the mode ready.
Vehicle mode.
Vehicle mode is inaudible. Copy.
The International Space Station's thrusters have been re-enabled.
Copy.
The ATV now beginning its departure maneuver. Over the course of the next several days, the automated transfer vehicle will separate at an ever-increasing rate from the International Space Station to a
Vehicle mode separation. Copy.
to a distance ultimately of about 4,500 miles in front of the International Space Station for a series of deorbit burns next Tuesday afternoon that will enable the ATV to begin its plunge back into the Earth's atmosphere.
We are observing
We can see Sudan mode.
Sudan mode.
Vehicle mode SOX loop. Printer.
Copy.
And the visiting vehicle officer here in Mission Control confirms through telemetry and through confirmation from the flight control team in Toulouse, France, that the departure maneuver burn of 5 minutes and 31 seconds in duration has begun. You can see, or you had a view and you see again, the automated transfer vehicle at the bottom of your screen, having undocked about 4 minutes ago from the aft port of the Zvezda service module. Loaded with some 7 tons of food, fuel, and supplies for the residents of the International Space Station, Edoardo Amaldi was launched on March 23rd from the European Space Agency's launch site at Kourou, French Guiana, atop an Ariane 5 rocket. A 5-day rendezvous ensued, with docking occurring automatically to the aft port of Zvezda back on March 28th. We are expecting to acquire downlink television from the U.S. segment of the International Space Station through our tracking and data relay satellite system just a few seconds from now. A very good view of the ATV from the camera on the aft port of the Zvezda service module as Edoardo Amaldi begins to fade away from view. We're hoping to get some downlink television from external cameras. And there now we have a view of the automated transfer vehicle as it backs away from the aft port. Prominent in the field of view on the left side of your screen is the ISS Progress 48 cargo craft that arrived at the International Space Station a couple of months ago to deliver supplies. It is docked to the Piers docking compartment. There are also there is a Soyuz vehicle also attached to the International Space Station, which is the ticket home for Sonny Williams, Aki Hoshide, and Soyuz commander Yuri Malenchenko, who are scheduled to return to Earth on November 12th. A busy traffic pattern emerging, as always, at the International Space Station. Today's departure of the automated transfer vehicle. Soon to follow, a week from Sunday night, the scheduled launch of the SpaceX Dragon commercial resupply vehicle from Launch Complex 40 at the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station atop the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket, which, if all goes as planned, will be grappled and berthed by Hoshide and Sonny Williams on October 10th and berthed to the Earth-facing port of the Harmony module of the International Space Station. 2 weeks after that, the scheduled launch of the next trio of residents to the International Space Station that will join Expedition 33, that being Soyuz Commander Oleg Novitsky, Flight Engineer Evgeny Tarelkin, and NASA Flight Engineer Kevin Ford. And within days after they docked to the station on October 25th, just a few days later, the next launch of a Russian Progress resupply vehicle, the Progress 49 cargo ship from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. Like a bird in flight, Edoardo Amaldi continues to separate from the International Space Station's Zvezda service module. In contrast to the aborted undocking that occurred back on Tuesday, everything went by the book today, with all of the commanding having been completed, and all of the timelined activities to prepare for the undocking of the automated transfer vehicle moving along in smooth fashion. The visiting vehicle officer now reports that the departure maneuver burn by the ATV has been completed on schedule. Everything looking good, as an opening rate of about 4 meters per second ensues to enable Edoardo Amaldi to depart the neighborhood of the International Space Station for several days of transit to a point some 4,500 statute miles in front of the station, where it will be next Tuesday for a pair of deorbit burns of its engines that will send Edoardo Amaldi into its final plunge back into the Earth's atmosphere and a reentry breakup over the Pacific Ocean. That breakup, by the way, will be documented by special recorders that will send back data in a very novel fashion so that flight controllers can understand better the characteristics of a vehicle's breakup into the Earth's atmosphere for spacecraft design of the future. As mentioned earlier, the next launch of a European Space Agency automated transfer vehicle is scheduled next spring in the April timeframe from Kourou, French Guiana. That will be the Albert Einstein spacecraft, the fourth in the series of automated transfer vehicles designed to bring the largest volume of supplies up to the International Space Station of any of the existing cargo craft. And now a very clear view of the automated transfer vehicle as the International Space Station and Edoardo Amaldi fly into an orbital sunrise over South Korea. Now moving from northwest to southeast at an altitude of some 255 miles above the Earth.
Юрий Иванович.
Yuri? Go ahead.
Можно сделать заключительную операцию.
You have a go
0341.
for closeout steps per radiogram 0341. Copy.
Юрий Иванович, просьба...
Yuri, we're actually asking you to stand by. Please do not perform closeout operations. Right now, copy. Copy all, standing by.
Speaking to Russian flight controllers on another loop, the flight director at the Automated Transfer Vehicles Control Center in Toulouse, France, reports that the ATV now has departed what is known as the approach ellipsoid. This is essentially a circular boundary that represents the vicinity or the neighborhood of the International Space Station, within which all proximity operations are conducted. So the ATV now flies at an ever-increasing velocity away from the International Space Station. Now passing to the south of Osaka, Japan. This is Mission Control Houston, a good view of the automated transfer vehicle as it passes ever further away from the orbital laboratory following its undocking at 4:44 p.m. Central Time today. Flying 255 miles over the western Pacific Ocean, moving from northwest to southeast. The automated transfer vehicle performed flawlessly today, as did all of the proximity communications equipment on the Russian segment of the International Space Station. The aft port of the complex is now open and free. That aft port to which Edoardo Amaldi had been attached for 184 days will next see the arrival of the next visiting vehicle that will attach to that aft port of Zvezda, that being the ISS 49 Progress cargo ship that is scheduled for launch on October 31st from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. The Expedition 33 crew, Commander Sonny Williams of NASA, and flight engineers Aki Hoshide from the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency and Yuri Malenchenko from the Russian Federal Space Agency will begin an 8.5-hour sleep period. About 4 hours from now, they'll wake up at about 5:30 Central Time on Saturday morning for a weekend of routine maintenance work and some off-duty time before they press back into a full complement of experiments and preparations and training, onboard training activities for the SpaceX Dragon arrival that is scheduled for October 10th, assuming a launch from the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station on Sunday night, October 7th.
Copy. In work.
Russian flight controllers are confirming that Malenchenko has deactivated the proximity communications equipment. It is no longer needed for this operation as Edoardo Amaldi continues to separate from the International Space Station. Again, this separation rate will continue throughout the course of the weekend, and Monday, next Tuesday, Edoardo Amaldi will find itself some 4,500 miles in front of the International Space Station, at which time a pair of deorbit firings of its main engines at 4:42 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday, and a second deorbit maneuver at 7:44 p.m. Central Time next Tuesday evening will enable Edoardo Amaldi to slow down enough to drop out of orbit for its high-speed reentry back into the Earth's atmosphere, where it will break up harmlessly over the Pacific Ocean.
Thank you for your great work and your great support today. Always appreciate it. Thank you, Yuri, and I wish you goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye.
До свидания и спасибо.
Goodbye and thank you.
Russian flight controllers in the wee hours of Saturday morning Moscow time wishing a good evening and goodbye to Yuri Malenchenko as they go home for the evening. Their job done now.
We'll be standing by. Should you need us, call us. Sergey. Per radiogram 0373, we need to report to you on step 4. That is on condition of the rubber rings, so everything is fine, everything is intact. You will have it, the photos on the OCA machine, and the name of the file will be the same as the radiogram. So everything is good from this end. Okay, copy all. Thank you.
The Edoardo Amaldi activities from this point on through the weekend into its deorbit next Tuesday now solely in the hands of the flight control team at Toulouse, France, at the Automated Transfer Vehicle Control Center. Ballistics officers here in Mission Control in Houston will continue to monitor the departure of the Edoardo Amaldi through the time of its deorbit burn, as it does with every visiting vehicle until its job is complete.
экипаж МКС по Москвы в канале СГ-1 для Юрия.
ISS Moscow on SG-1 for Yuri.
Отвечаем.
Go ahead, this is ISS.
Юрий Иванович, в вашем лице
Yuri,
Тулузу также поздравляю.
MCC Toulouse is also congratulating you with a very successful undocking and wish you all the best as well. To the whole crew. And on behalf of the International Space Station crew, we'd like to congratulate you all on the ground and thank you for your excellent work and great support today. Thank you.
Congratulations relayed to Yuri Malenchenko and his crewmates, Sonny Williams and Aki Hoshide, aboard the International Space Station from the Russian Flight Control Team, relaying the best wishes and congratulations from the Automated Transfer Vehicle Control Team and Toulouse, France, on a job well done. The second time was a charm today, as the first attempt on Tuesday ran into some technical glitch issues with computer commanding. Those issues quickly resolved. The new undocking date set by the station program management on Wednesday, and today everything went smooth as silk as the automated transfer vehicle, the Edoardo Amaldi, separated from the aft port of the Zvezda service module at 4:44 p.m. Central Time, 5:44 p.m. Eastern Time. Just a few minutes later, conducted an engine firing and a separation maneuver that will see Edoardo Amaldi move to a position about 4,500 miles in front of the International Space Station for a series of deorbit burns of its main engines on Tuesday, enabling the automated transfer vehicle to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere and break up harmlessly over the Pacific Ocean.